I'm really proud of this team. I thought a great win today or tonight. Just came out and battled against a really good Utah team. Very good offensive team. It just finds ways to score, and Peely is a handful inside. They're well coached, and I think we did a really good job. But they're a good team. I think thank God they were missing their threes, but a good win for us.
Shaina, the first 11 shots, I think, you hit all 11 of them. What were you feeling?
What did you eat? What was the pregame? What was that? Were you having that same meal every time the rest of the season?
No, I really I was in the groove. I feel like once I saw the first one going, the second one going, the third one going, I was like, okay.
A fourth one going.
Fourth one going. Yeah, like it just kept going and going and going. And I was just like, that's great. So but I also wanted to make sure that I was taking shots that made sense as well for me and in the flow of the game. And I just kind of focused on continuing to make the shots that I was taking, not really changing much else. So, I started off on fire. So I'm happy for that. So.
Shaina, was this the best game you would say you played at Arizona?
Probably, yes. Yeah.
I would agree. It was some of those shots were like, no, yes. Because there was like dribble shot. I was like, okay, well, she was on fire. So it's one of those things that and the team did a really good job of continuing to screen for her and help her get the ball and look for her. And I thought she did a good job being patient, took shots that were open and shots she needs to make. Because with those now, if she keeps on doing that like she has been the last few games, they have to guard her differently, and then she'll have more open layups, and that's like her strength. So I'm proud of her. It's what she's worked on. It's finally showing and paying off.
Shaina, how's your ankle?
It doesn't feel very good right now. It's sore, but I feel like we have a really good athletic training staff, and I feel like they'll have me back and ready in no time before the game against Colorado.
There was one point in the game, she was like, I can't. I was like, yeah, you can. I usually don't do that, but I was like, you can. And I was going to take her out at one point. The whole bench was like, no, Amelia's coming up. But that was a cool team win. I mean, I thought everybody did a great job. She was on fire. She had huge plays. Maddie's cold off the bench, comes in and hit free throws. Maya gave good minutes. Paris, great offensive rebounds. I thought a really good team effort. And like Jade and Mary were limited on minutes because of just foul trouble. And other people stepped up. So this is a great definition of a team win.
It seemed like Shaina was able to attack at all three levels, mid-range, three-point line, at the hoop. Mm-hmm. Can you just talk about her development?
Yeah, I think, well, right now you see she's confident. She has worked on it. We've worked a ton on rescreen, rescreen a lot over the years. And I think now, after you see the ball go in the hoop the last couple games, she's more confident. She's taking it. And so I think teams are going to have to make the choice. Do they want to continue to not guard her there? And then when they do guard her there, she's going to have lanes to the basket. So this is a part of her game that she needed to develop. And I'm proud of her for continuing to develop it, because as a player, it's very difficult when someone is off you. It's very frustrating. It makes you press mentally, and it's just hard. And sometimes in the past, if you look at Shaina 2 years ago, she would stop being aggressive. And she's so athletic. When people go under the screen, it's a foot race to the paint. She can still beat them. But I think the psychological part of it is hard. So the fact that she's weathered that and she's continuing to improve, and it's showing now at the right time. And so I'm just proud of her. And she played phenomenal today and really helped us win this game.
For anyone, did you feel like you owed them one?
No, I feel like we owe every Pac-12 team one. No, I think that that was a tough loss there. They're a really good team, and Lynn does a great job. I think they were very underrated coming into the season, and they're one of the best in the country. And they've proven that. They've had some huge wins. And to lose it with 1.5 seconds there off of free throws, that was tough to swallow. So we really were focused at home, and we need these wins, just like they do. Everybody needs wins right now. And we had 4 more games, now 3. We need to win these games. We're all trying to get top 4 in the Pac-12. As we want to buy in the Pac-12 tournament, and we're playing for postseason, standings and all that stuff. So these games are very meaningful.
What can you take from these 2 games against Utah for the Pac-12 tournament?
Well, this game will really help us, I think, in a lot of ways. I think help us for momentum and confidence, and we're starting to peak at the right time, which is important, just heading into March and heading into the Pac-12 tournament. This is also has a lot of net implications. Dan, there's just a lot of reasons why this game was very important. It was a game we needed to win, and the game we really wanted to win. And I think that we didn't go to the mountains and perform well. So Utah and Colorado at home, it's very different. Like playing in McHale is the hardest place in the Pac-12 to play with the most attendance. So we need to take care of home court. We didn't feel like as a team we've done a great job of that this whole year. Having a couple of tough losses here. So this was a big game and a game we wanted to win.
And you seemed really aggressive today. What was different?
I was just finding really good shots. I think I'm just trying to be more aggressive and working on that. I'm also always looking for my teammates because I love passing. So, but yeah, I'm just more.
Yeah, we need her to be aggressive. So we need to be aggressive every game.
Are you happy when she goes to the foul line?
Yeah, when she goes to foul, I'm like, oh, this is easy too. Yeah, I'm very confident. She's a great foul shooter, and we put her in situations where she's gonna be the one getting the foul. And even I'm proud of Shaina because before she was also the one they would foul. She's stepping up, making free throws, all those things to show growth in the game. But yeah, and I'm happy. Helena does a really good job of so many things that she doesn't show up on the stat sheet. She makes our offense flow. She passes the ball in the right place. She anticipates well. She was a monster defensively today, and that's why she's on the all-defensive watch list. But the two of them did a really good job. But I think our whole team did too. This was a good win for us against a really good team.
Adia, where do you think the defensive turnaround from the second half, the second quarter to the third quarter was? Because I think you guys helped them 25% that quarter.
I think we just did a better job of. We talked about some things at halftime that were hurting us. We knew we wanted to put more bodies around Peely because we were aggressive in our rotations and she was just kind of manhandling us. So we brought help a little bit earlier and wanted to make it harder for her inside. And then she also went out of the game a little bit, so that didn't help Utah. We know that, but it helped us. But then we came in and I think just did a good job. At one point, we put Lauren on her, and Lauren did a really good job in front of her. And Lauren's a good example of someone that helps you win a game and didn't score a point. She was the glove. She was playing multiple positions, pressure on the ball, and didn't score a point, but helped us win this game.
You had a technical foul call on you in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed to change the course of the game. Was that on purpose? It seemed to ignite the crowd, the team. What was on your head?
No, it's never on purpose. I just thought it was just a lot of calls that were tough. But it's also hard to call this type of game. We're aggressive. I just thought there was a lot of stuff that wasn't going our ways. And I thought at that time I just needed to say what I thought.
And in times like that, do you see it gives the team some confidence?
I don't know because it gave
build off of that maybe.
Maybe I think we got momentum. I think it fired the crowd up. At the time, I wasn't thinking about that because it gave up points. And I usually don't get technicals, but I just thought I needed to say what I wanted to say, and I didn't say anything bad. But we just weren't getting calls. I thought the calls weren't good at the time. But yeah, that's not. I think that's my first technical, and I don't know if I've ever gotten another technical.
Yes.
It's my first one ever.
Second year, I think you had two.
Really, I don't remember those. I haven't had one in 5 years. So it's not characteristic of me at all, but our team also needed some oomph, and I thought that we responded well. I thought the crowd responded well. But yeah, it's not typical of what I want to do.
And how big of a factor was the crowd tonight? 8,200 fans.
Huge. I mean, I really thought it'd be a lot less because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. So that's hard. There's a baseball game, I think, tonight, right? So I didn't think we'd have that, but the fans continue to show up. We had so many fans at the Stanford game, and we did not perform well. And we know that we wanted to give the crowd also show that we play with passion and pride here at Arizona. And I think they did that today. And that's Arizona basketball. Not competing and stuff like that. That's not us. So I'm glad that we've turned the corner and we're understanding we will win games when we play defense like we did. We won't if we don't. And then rebounding, that was always a crutch for us this year, and also missing free throws. I thought we did a good job of making those things. And as we head into March, the Pac-12 tournament, you have to do those things to win. And we have a tough stretch. Utah, number 4 in the country, and well-deserved because they're very good. They're going to go deep in the tournament. And then we have at home Colorado, very good team, top 25 team. And then we go on the road, Oregon, and probably senior night in Oregon State. So it's a tough stretch, but it's a stretch that I think is going to pay off in the tournament because it's games you need to win. So how can you respond, and how are we going to react to that? We showed today that we're getting better and we're starting to peak at the right time. So I'm happy about that.
For Shayna and Helena, how does it help each other when, Helena, you're getting all these tips and deflections, and Shayna, you got 5 steals, and then Lauren's locking down her opponent. How does it help when you guys are all clicking?
I mean, it helps us a lot. Like, I feel like for me, when I see my teammate get a steal, like, I feel like it gives us all energy, and like it makes us want to play defense harder. It's like, okay, she's working hard. Like, now I'm going to have her back the next position. Now I'm going to match that. You know what I mean? So I think the entire team, but I think Lauren did an amazing job of, playing defense on Peely, for example, like, stepping up and doing that when we needed her. I think Helena did a good job of getting those tips, those steals, like she always does. And then I feel like I did my job today, and I tried to be more aggressive defensively as well. And you know what? At the end of the day, we got the win, and that made the difference, honestly. So yeah, I'm proud of how our defensive effort today.
And Kate went quiet, 7 for 11. I didn't realize she shot that well.
Well, it was later in the game because at one point she was 6 for 7.
So, these 3 seniors have been here 4 and 5 years, maybe their last weekend here. We don't know. Just about how the 3 of them together.
Well, hopefully it's not her last weekend because we're trying to recruit her to come back. But we don't talk about that a lot during the season. But I think Shayna, it's her bobblehead night. I did have a good bobblehead night. After that night, I was like, we do not ever need to do a Adia bobblehead night again. That was a Stanford night. But just for her, and, Shayna's parents don't get to come here a lot. And during COVID, they never got to come and travel because the borders were closed. So happy he hadn't seen her play basketball. Her dad's a coach and was her coach for many years. Hadn't seen her play in a long time. So that's why I wanted her to bring him up for the drum. And I thought she did a great job. And it's her last weekend, so they played with a lot of pride. And Helena had a lot of stuff going on today. And she wasn't at shoot-around today. But then she didn't miss a beat. She's smart. She knew, and we caught her up. She had a family emergency. So, everybody stepped up and did their job, but, their senior leadership showed today. Kate didn't have a great first half, but then she showed up big in the second half. So all those things, I think, show a mature team that found a way to win, and it's getting more cohesive chemistry in the right time. And that's what you want to peak, from now on.
And Adia, you had kind of a tough week. A former teammate which just
I
passed
know.
away.
Yesterday.
And how are you able to sort of
Analyze, yeah.
put that outside and
Yeah,
coach
so
today?
this week was hard. I had sent 2 players home with family emergencies, 2 deaths in the family. And, one of the players' moms passed away. Montea, and I was close to her mom, and I can't go Saturday because we have a game, so that was hard for me. And I promised her mom I'd take care of her here, so that was a hard moment. And then, Lauren had a death in the family, left, so that was a difficult moment. And then it's just a lot. Then I was getting blown up in practice yesterday, and Simone Edwards, and the Jamaican hurricane, which I laugh when I think about her because there's so many great stories. But she was my teammate for 3 years at the Seattle Storm, won a championship together, one of the best teammates I've ever had, and then was fighting ovarian cancer and passed away. So that was hard. All my teammates, from the Storm, were calling, all the WNBA players, and it's just kind of not real. It's shocking, kind of. Mrs. was a pro athlete for many years. And if anybody knows Simone, she was loved by everybody. She was a fan favorite. I have so many funny Simone stories, so we laugh about it. But yeah, it was this week. I was like, gosh, everybody's having a tough time. But yeah, so it was hard. You figure it out. I think you just have to move on, and I think it's just with life. As I'm getting older, it's happening more and more. So, but yeah, hard. But it is what it is. I guess you gotta lead.